I am a publisher, writer, editor, daughter, sister, auntie, dog mom, and many other things, including currently a cancer patient. But I am not a doctor or medical professional of any sort. What you are about to watch is an episode of my journey through cancer. I'm sharing my adventure with you in hopes that you'll find something here that's comforting and maybe even inspiring. This video is not intended to provide any sort of diagnosis or treatment plan. Please go talk with your doctor for professional medical advice. Day 24, PET scan day. Cancer patient joke. I am having a bad hair day. But at least I'm having a hair day. I haven't had coffee yet. Here we are, almost to Gray's Woods. It's a beautiful, beautiful day. This is my friend Sue, who is of Sue's Salves, which you can read about in the description below. And she's taking me to get my PET scan. And isn't this, I just have to say, isn't this beautiful country where we live? Not near any major cancer centers, but man, it's gorgeous. That was first thing this morning, and it has been a rough day. I went to a facility to have my PET scan. And I'm going to look over here because I have this written down. A PET scan is a positron emission tomography scan. Sounds like something out of Star Trek to me. It's used to detect changes to or metabolic or biochemical changes to your organs, and it helps to detect all sorts of diseases, heart disease, brain disease, cancer. It's used in cancer to diagnose, to see if the cancer has spread, and then to monitor how treatments are progressed. And it's a fun little test. The first video you saw, the first snippet, was from 6 a.m. And we were in the car. I was in the car with my friend Sue, and we were on our way to make a 7:30 appointment to have the PET scan done. First thing about a PET scan is I was told nothing by mouth after midnight. So I had nothing by mouth after midnight, including no coffee and not even a sip of water this morning. However, during the PET scan, when I was being prepped for it, my tech said to me, "Your veins are just so small." I said, "Yeah, I'm a hard stick, and I always have been." And he said, "Well, did they tell you to drink lots of water in the morning? It helps with the veins." I said, "No, they said nothing by mouth after midnight." So my veins were especially small, but I will get to that. First, you go in, and the first thing they do is do a finger stick, as if you're to test for your blood sugar. And they want your blood sugar to be between 75 and 110, and mine was 83, so I was well within range. And so I got to drink about, I would say, 10 ounces of this stuff to coat your esophagus. And it was much better than the stuff I had to drink for the CT scan. This was, it was a thin liquid, and it was supposed to be, he said, a raspberry flavor, and it was just a very weak raspberry flavor. It wasn't great, but it was inoffensive. So we drank that, and then Sue had to leave us, and I went back to the PET, where the room where the PET machine is located, and went into this tiny room where there's a lounge chair that tilts back, and not a particularly comfortable lounge chair, especially considering the back issues that I'm having. But got in the chair, and I got my IV, and I have to say my tech today was a genius at inserting the IV. Didn't matter how small my veins were. He found one, got it in on the first try. And then he injected this radioactive substance into the IV, which, when you have something radioactive
injected into your body, it just makes you cringe. But he said, it's got a half-life. It will only last maybe 20 hours in your body. And I thought, I've taken math. A half-life, it never disappears because it only is a half-life. So there's always some radioactive liquid, whatever it is, presence in your body after you've had a PET scan. So I guess I'm radioactive. Then they take the IV right out, or my tech did, because the radioactive liquid was already inserted. And then you have to sit for an hour and a half in this lounge chair that they tilt back, give you a pillow, try to make you as comfortable as possible. I suspect it would have been more comfortable for me had my back not been giving me the issues that it is giving me, because you have to sit as still as you can so that the radioactive liquid collects where it needs to collect in your body, so they can read it on the reports that they give. They don't want it collecting. They don't want you reading a book, for instance. They don't want you playing with your phone, because it could collect and give false positives in various areas. So essentially, you're sitting in this lounge chair in the dark. They turn the lights out with nothing to do. You're disconnected in the waking world without your phone, without a book to read, without anything. And it feels a little strange, feels very sci-fi. But then they come and get you, and they put you on a gurney that moves in and out of a tube, a donut. And that part takes about half an hour to take the pictures, 25 minutes, half an hour. The worst part is that, again, you have to have your arms up over your head and hold them there for at least 15 minutes. And that gets uncomfortable. And maybe, again, it's not as uncomfortable if you're not having a back issue. But it was pretty uncomfortable. And then you're free to leave. It's not an invasive procedure. It's not really a painful one unless you count the finger stick. And I can take an IV, I can take a shot, but getting my finger stuck is just, that really bothers me for some reason. So other than the finger stick, it was a pretty straightforward procedure, and the finger stick and the time it takes. So I won't look forward to my next PET scan, but I will know to drink plenty of water after I when I get up in the morning. And so yeah, PET scans. I will find out the results of my PET scan on June 24th when I go back to, which is about 2 weeks. When I go back to see my doctor and my oncologist, and I would say I'm pretty terrified of finding out that I have cancer in other parts of my body, that the cancer has spread. It is now the thing that is the hardest, is waiting to find out what my body's doing, how my body's misbehaving, and then creating a plan to do something about it. So we won't dwell on it. I'm not going to borrow trouble. I'm going on vacation in 2 days, and I'm going to try to not pretend I don't have cancer, because I will have to eat appropriately, and I have some appointments to make and some follow-up things to do and these little videos to make. So I'm not going to pretend I don't have cancer, but I'm going to try to enjoy my friends and not dwell on having cancer and maybe having more of it than I think I have now. So the best thing about the PET scan was that darling Sue was waiting for me when I came out of the room with the biggest cup of coffee. And it was so delicious. It was wonderful. And then Sue and I we went to the Amish grocery store and the Amish organic market, and bought some strawberries and some farm fresh eggs and some dilly beans which the Amish women can themselves, and they're fabulous. They're basically pickled green beans, and I love them, and I haven't had them for forever. So it was nice to have dilly beans with my lunch today. Late in the afternoon, I did again attempt another intervention on my back. I went and had a massage. Wonderful massage therapist, Liz Webb is her name, and her information's in the description below. So getting on the table at the massage parlor was difficult because my back, it was hard to get on the table, and it was even harder to get off once the massage was done. But I want to have the massage today. I wanted to have the massage today because I'm trying to do anything I can to get my back in shape, so I don't have to deal with this kind of pain as well as cancer. But I want to continue to have them throughout my treatment. There was an older thought in the medical community that you shouldn't have massages when you have cancer because stimulating the blood flow will stimulate the cells to move around and the cancer to spread. But I have an article that I read that I'll just draw from now from the Memorial Sloan Kettering Cancer Center, where they talk about the benefits of massage, such as relieving anxiety, relieving pain, helping to relieve the nausea, helping to help with depression that can come with having disease. So I love massage. It's one of my favorite treats for myself. So I have decided I will be treating myself to a massage at least once a week during the course of this therapy to help treat anxiety and pain and any discomfort. And I've already talked with Liz about the various parameters and what will happen once I actually do get my port and how we'll have to work around that. And she's wonderful. And I will be actually at some point in the future getting her on camera to talk a little bit more about how her work is so healing, particularly for people with cancer. So essentially, until the 24th of June, my tests are over. And again, that's 2 weeks from now. The tests are over for the time being. And I have to wait and do those things like massage and control my diet and things like that I can do from home. Things I can do to affect a positive outcome. And going on vacation, I think, is one of those. It'll be a great chance to relax with friends who understand what's going on and are not just understanding, they're incredibly compassionate. And so I'm looking forward to that. It won't be like other vacations. Usually our vacations with this group of my friends revolve around food and cooking. And I will be eating a special diet, and particularly if my back isn't in great shape and doesn't get in great shape, it's hard for me to stand for any length of time, so I won't be doing a lot of cooking. I doubt I'll feel much like going out and listening to live music. Again, this is not to do with cancer. This is to do with my back. So it will be different, but it will be relaxing, and I think the respite that I need before I begin treatments in earnest. The best thing about vacation will be that there are no tests. There are no days where I have to wake up before my body's ready to wake up. And I will be able to get up and have coffee first thing in the morning. And that will be lovely.
If you liked this video or found it helpful, give it a like, subscribe, and don't forget to ring the bell.